Hey everybody, this video is going to cover information for Learning Module 5. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the pink speech that you looked at in Module 4. I'm going to show you my highlighting and what I discovered as ethos, pathos, and logos. And then we're going to talk about how to go from what you highlight in your article to a thesis statement, and then how to go from that thesis statement to a full essay. Because your midterm essay is going to be a rhetorical analysis on an article that you choose. So if you'll look at your screen, and we're looking in the pink speech review folder. So in that folder, I have my version of the pink speech where I highlighted everything. So what we're looking at here is anything in yellow I labeled as ethos or an appeal to credibility. Anything that is blue I labeled as pathos or an appeal to emotion. And then anything that is pink I labeled as logos or an appeal to logic or reasoning. So the fact that this is an acceptance speech lets us know that she is award-winning in the music industry. So that gives us reason to trust her ideas and her opinions about the music industry. She received an award for her music. So her opinion of the music industry is valid, is credible. Down here at the bottom of that first section where she says, oh, my brain went to, oh my God, you're 6. Why? Where is this coming from? That whole section is pathos. So we talked a little bit about pathos in Module 4 and how pathos is created. And one of the ways that pathos is created is through repetition. So right here we have questions being repeated over and over. Why? Where is this coming from? Who said this? Can I kick a 6-year-old's ass? All of those questions are rhetorical, meaning she's not looking for someone to answer her. But it's also a repetitive device. And because pathos is created through repetition, this blue section right here at the end of the first paragraph is an appeal to pathos. And then in the next section, we have a lot of logos here. Remember, an appeal to logic is when your speaker is using examples to sway the audience. And so in this section of the speech, she uses the names of androgynous rock stars, Michael Jackson, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, Annie Lennox, Prince. She name drops all of these people. So name dropping all of these people gives the logical sense that we should agree with her argument. So her overall argument is that people should be themselves. They should not change who they are to fit in with any group of people. And so she uses these particular rock stars as examples of that idea. David Bowie, Janis Joplin, Michael Jackson, they were kind of weird and out there, and they dressed differently than everyone else, and they talked differently than everyone else. But they were also very successful at what they did. So those examples give us a logical appeal. And then we have more ethos or credibility. So she is talking here in this little section about her experience. She has experienced people making fun of her because of how she looks and how she talks. And she did not change who she was or what she believed because of it. So she understands how difficult it is not to change who you are to fit in. So her experience with this particular argument gives her credibility to talk on the arguments. And then we have more pathos here at the end when she talks about we help other people change to see more kinds of beauty. The emotion that she's trying to instill here is inspiration. It's inspiring to help other people see different kinds of beauty. She even says inspired here, lighting the way for us. It's an inspiration to be the person that helps other people become their true selves. Keep on shining. So she uses this kind of light imagery to create this feeling of inspiration. And then at the end of her speech, she says, "And you, my darling girl, are beautiful and I love you." So it's kind of a peaceful ending to her speech where she's kind of accepted beauty and everyone else should accept beauty as well. So those are some of the things that I noticed in this particular speech. Now, what I want to show you, I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit better to see. Okay, so what I want to show you here is this is the graphic organizer for a rhetorical analysis paper. So think of it kind of like an outline. So there is a blank one on your Blackboard page. So the blank one is right here for you to print off and fill in as you see fit. But what I've done is I've looked back at the things that I highlighted. And for ethos, or for the yellow, I picked my two strongest pieces of evidence, the two that I feel like I could write the most about. And then for pathos, I picked two for pathos as well. And then for logos, I picked two for logos. And I wrote them down on this left side of the screen, or of the page, rather. And then over here where this triangle is, I pinpointed who the speaker is, the purpose, or what argument the speaker is trying to make, and who the speaker is talking to. So our speaker in this speech is Pink, an award-winning musician, and her purpose is to convince people about the importance of body positivity or the importance of accepting your true self. There are a million different ways you could say that. And then who is she talking to? Well, she's talking to her daughter Willow specifically, but she's also talking to the entire audience who is in the building and watching the VMA award ceremony. So the reason that this triangle is important is because that's going to help you create your thesis statement. So after you have filled in the left side of your graphic organizer, and after you have determined this rhetorical triangle, what you're going to do is you're going to look at your ethos, your pathos, and your logos, and you're going to try to summarize what your evidence is doing. Okay. So what I mean by that is I have people make fun of me. I look like a boy, or I'm too masculine. Do you see me changing myself? All right. So that's going to be our appeal to credibility. So what does an appeal to credibility do? Well, she's talking about her experience. So her experience gives her an authority on this subject. It makes us trust her. For pathos, I have we don't change, we help other people change, and then the inspired, lighting the way, keep shining section. And the emotional phrasing, what that is doing is it gives the audience sympathy or inspiration toward her purpose. So that's what these quotes are doing. It's giving the audience inspiration towards her purpose. That's the emotional plea that she's making. And then for logos, she lists all of those androgynous rock stars. So what is the purpose of her doing that? Well, this is my summary here, listing celebrities who don't look beautiful but were successful gives logic to the idea that beauty is not what makes people great. Conformity is not what makes people great, however you want to word it. So once you have your quotes picked out, and you've kind of summarized what those quotes are doing on the left side of this organizer, and then you've filled out this rhetorical triangle, you're ready to create your thesis statement. So what you're going to do then is look at this thesis statement handout. Now, the formula for a rhetorical analysis thesis is basically the rhetorical trinity. So that's that triangle on the on the organizer. So your speaker, your audience, and your purpose. And then you add that summary that you come up with on the left side of that organizer page for ethos, logos, and pathos. Here's the biggest part. you do not actually use the words ethos, logos, and pathos in your thesis. Instead, you provide how the author is using ethos, logos, and pathos. Do not say ethos, logos, or pathos in your paper. If you do, you're going to get points taken off of the diction section of your rubric. So if I look back at